Joe, everyone knows about the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, Shannon, there's so much more to that department, though, than just the patrols and the flashing lights.
It's true. Jackson County has made public safety a top priority for quite some time.
And that has served us citizens very well.
So let's take a look at the people and programs of your sheriff's office creating a safe community.
With 9 divisions and over 170 full-time employees, there's a lot more to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office than just the green and white patrol cars. Let's learn more with Jackson County Sheriff Nathan Sickler.
Hello, I'm Bill Mance from the Jackson County Close-Up. Today, we have the real pleasure of sitting down with your Jackson County Sheriff, Nathan Sickler, and what a pleasure it is to spend some time with him as he talks about really one of the largest of the departments at Jackson County, and also kind of what's going on in law enforcement in 2017. So we're excited. Thank you so much for sharing time with us today.
Oh, thanks.
We saw your presentation in front of the Board of Commissioners and the Budget Committee. And there was just kind of a really refreshing intro to that. And I'm going to actually read what you said. And I want you to kind of talk about kind of how that is a guide, how it kind of guides the organization and really how it guides you as a person. So it's right on the top of your website as well. So when you talk about the Sheriff's Office, serving our community through values-oriented law enforcement, character, competence, courage, compassion.
Yeah, so when I took over as the sheriff, or when I was appointed, I felt like, we hadn't updated that in years, our mission statement. And, I thought about it, I gave kind of a lot of thought about it, and even solicited some input from other folks and, people that I trusted, and I looked at what other sheriff's offices had put and other police departments. And I was trying to find something that was easy to remember, but had a lot of meaning. Because, the one thing that it's tough for employees to do is try to remember, a 60-word mission statement, right, and trying to figure all this stuff out. And so, serving our community is to me, it has a lot of meaning in it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. We want the message of our goal is to serve. And, not everybody has the same vision or assumes service is the same. But generally speaking, that's what we're here to do, is we're here to serve. And that could mean, helping people off the mountain who have hurt themselves, helping victims get closure to cases when they're victims of crimes. It could be meaning serving individuals by reminding them to slow down through a ticket at times, But basically having a service-minded approach to things that we do. And that's important for command staff all the way through all of our deputies. So, I view my role as, serving the constituents who are, kind of my boss, as an elected official. But I also have a job to serve the men and women of the Sheriff's Office and ensure that they have all the necessary things they need to do their job every day. So, and then our community, I want people to know that we live here, we work here, we play here. This is our community too. This isn't an us versus them. We're all in this together, and we're going to be a stronger Sheriff's Office with support of our community, and our community will be stronger with a good Sheriff's Office. So that kind of, is why I kind of chose that wording. And then through, how do you do that? How do you serve your community? And then what do? We're a law enforcement agency. And that means a lot of things like search and rescue and civil processes and patrol and jail, but primarily law enforcement functions. And so we want people to know that we take our law enforcement serious, and we have some core values that we want to adhere to while we are performing our law enforcement duties. And, you're talking about character. I kind of listed them in an order I thought was important, priorities. And, character is a huge need when you're a law enforcement officer. You have good character. And you have a lot of trust from the public, and you have a lot of authority, and you have a lot of freedom, and you have to make a lot of decisions. And, you're always in the spotlight. And so we want to hire individuals that have good character. We have people with good character here. But I think this isn't to change culture. It's just to kind of reflect of where we're at. And then, competence. That's very important to me because, like I said, we're trusted to do a very important job, in my opinion. One of the most important jobs there is. We have, like I said, been given a lot of authority by the state of Oregon and by our county government to, at times take people's freedoms away, with, enforcing the laws. If we have to, take them to jail. We have to go to a myriad of different calls every day, and they're not every call is the same. In fact, rarely are 2 calls the same. And so you have to have a very vast you have to have very vast knowledge of all aspects. I mean, we play everything from a social service worker to a SWAT guy to a mental health specialist at times, and all these. And we're not experts in these. I'm not saying that. There's people that are experts, but you got to know where to start. And case law changes daily basis. New laws come in every year. It's a very ever-changing world, and so you have to be competent. You have to be good at your job because people expect when they call us that we're going to do something for them, and so that's important to me, really important. And that when we go to court, we're viewed as competent when doing our job. The attorneys view us as competent. The judges view us as competent. So, a very important aspect. Courage, and that can mean different things to different people, but it does mean the courage to face danger and to do things that scare other people and to go into gunfire when most people are running away and things of that nature. But it's also the courage to always do the right thing. It's a courage to stand up for what's right. It's a courage to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, and just the courage to conduct yourself in a ethical manner at all times, and to stick up for your fellow deputies. And so it's just, it's kind of a term that I felt resonated with being important with law enforcement as a whole. And then compassion. I think years ago, law enforcement was viewed as more militaristic, more of a military entity, and there wasn't a lot of the relationship with the community as there is today, and so I think we get more results with being compassionate. It doesn't mean being weak or soft on crime, nothing like that. It just means that you have empathy and you have when people are down, you don't need to continue that process. We're there to help all people. Now, some people need help because they need to go to jail, and some people need help because they're down on their luck. We've had deputies do extraordinary kindnesses and have shown compassion to victims and people who needed help. I recall a couple of our detectives went down to help victims of the South Umpqua community, Roseburg, and during that shooting, and they found out that when they were talking to victims' families that they didn't have any power or water. I can't remember which one. But they went right down and paid their power bill so they could have those services. And so those are just kinds of the things that you hear about deputies doing, and nobody tells them to do it. And we do acts of kindness every day. There was a deputy recently who gave, I think, a homeless person part of his lunch. I mean, just nice things that people do. And the community sees that, and they see, oh, wow, we do outreach with the community to try to say, hey, we're people too. We are just like you. We just have a different job. And we're not robots, and we're not superhuman. But I think that relationship between the community and our deputies is important, especially you want to build that consistently and not try to repair after something happens that's controversial.
Well, those words, character, competence, courage, and compassion, they're just, first of all, just saying that you're going to have that on your list of missions sets high standards, automatically. But I think that in today's environment, with the way that news is and 24-hour news and all that sort of stuff, I think sometimes people get confused about what law enforcement is doing in our communities, and by making those commitments, you're reaching out to them. So it's really a well thought out group of words, and I know that the group really kind of works very hard toward them. So
yeah, they do. Like I said, we have good men and women, and they couldn't have made my job easier when I stepped into here. So I consider us a big team, and we've accomplished a lot, and we have a lot more to do. So I'm excited for this opportunity, and we're going to do our best.